Yes, it is Friday in the Deep South, and the Republican candidates are rehearsing their grits and gravy act for voters in Mississippi and Alabama. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But we must begin with Sarah Palin's latest and perhaps greatest performance of diversion, make-believe and victimhood on Fox News. And while she wasn't there to promote HBO's Game Change, a somewhat withering account of her vice presidential campaign in 2008, she did offer a range of views on the man who trounced her, suggesting the president conspires with radicals, hates America, and of course wasn't properly vetted. Miss Palin, it's all yours.
So thank you, gentlemen who are running on the GOP ticket, staying in there, allowing yourselves to be vetted by the media because they didn't do it when Barack Obama ran.
Some speculate that Reverend Jeremiah Wright is turning off white voters. Democratic sources tell ABC News he's unquestionably worrying superdelegates about Obama's electability.
Oh, I'm sorry. Someone has gone and clipped an ABC News report onto that tape. I guess it's journalism, a report. Wait a minute. By ABC's White House correspondent from April of 2008, when Senator Obama was running, a report that came on the heels of another report that focused on the fiery rhetoric of Jeremiah Wright. Yes, the lamestream media did no vetting whatsoever to the then candidate Barack Obama. Perhaps Miss Palin didn't see those and the hundreds of other reports done by NBC, ABC, MSNBC, CBS, even Fox News. So, strike one for Miss Palin. Now, on to the other reason she was with Mr. Hannity, and it really is a barnstormer, this one. The night's new defence of the indefensible Rush Limbaugh. And the line trotted out by Miss Palin is this: Bill Maher is a horrible man. Here's how it works. Rush Limbaugh characterises a young law student as a slut and a prostitute for daring to stand up for a sick friend in front of a congressional hearing. Now, there's no condemnation for that attack, no criticism of Rush. Instead, there's a defence of Rush, and that defence is this: Bill Maher once called Miss Palin a very nasty name.
I don't know why anyone can sit in the audience of a commentator like Bill Maher and chuckle and laugh and think that that's entertaining. I think it's disgusting, and it's dirty money that he has now provided Barack Obama's campaign. And I don't know how Barack Obama can sleep at night if he really thinks about Sasha and Malia and the treatment of some women today, how he can accept that dirty money.
For the record, Mr. Maher does sometimes say outrageous things on his late-night show. I've been on it, but he's a comedian. Even so, he's better read than Miss Palin. He's never run for office. He knows more about domestic and foreign policy, but he's not looking for a cabinet post. And he does make donations to political campaigns, but he has no influence and seeks no access. And yes, he did use a four-letter word. But if Mr. Maher is the spawn of Satan, then why is there such a long line of Republicans who keep appearing on his show? People like Congressman Darrell Issa, whose very committee deemed Sandra Fluke unqualified to speak on the matter. Mr. Issa is a regular guest of Mr. Maher. You see, I'm beginning to wonder if the only conspiracy here is that of certain commentators flailing about trying desperately to find a coherent line of attack. They went for the culture wars and contraception. That didn't work. They'd love to focus on the economy, but that's improving. They went for gas prices, but people are not stupid and they understand that the administration has very little control over the cost of a gallon. So, in the absence of creative thought or genuine evidence, they went back to the tried and the trusted. Insult the president.
Barack Obama has never been, I think, seen in the conventional, traditional way of we who would describe a man of valor.
Diversion, make-believe, victimhood and insults. And they think Bill Maher is a bad guy? Joining us now, Karen Finney, an MSNBC political analyst and former DNC communications director, Jonathan Capehart, an MSNBC contributor and opinion writer for The Washington Post, and in Miami, Democratic strategist Julian Epstein. Good day to all of you. Karen, just so that we can understand her argument, Ms. Palin says that Rush Limbaugh is a good guy because she was called a four-letter word by Bill Maher and the president pals around with terrorists and radicals, right?
Apparently that's her argument. But you know what, Martin? Here's what is so important. Couple of things. Number one, I'm hearing this from women this week and last week. Let's not get distracted. This is not just about a couple of words that Rush Limbaugh used about Sandra Fluke. It is about the whole picture that he painted of her as some kind of slut / whore / make a video of yourself having sex and put it on the web. I mean, it was far more disgusting than just 2 words. Secondly, he is a public person. Sandra Fluke is not a public person. Bill Maher is a public person. Sarah Palin is a public person. You could make the argument, whether you like what Bill Maher says or not, when you're in the public arena, you do put yourself out there in a way that a private person asked to testify in front of Congress should not expect to be attacked.
That is correct. John, yesterday Fox News had this wonderful conspiracy involving the late Derek Bell. He passed away just last October, and he's already now been raised from the dead by Fox News. And every aspect of his personal achievement, working from difficult circumstances, raising himself up to such a position of seniority, that is now completely rubbished, and we're now supposed to refer to him as a radical. Is that right?
Apparently so, but again, we're talking about Derek Bell, and we're talking about, the victimhood of Sarah Palin, and we're talking about all of these other ancillary issues, if you want to call the Derek Bell issue, controversy an issue, because the main thing that Republicans have been running on since 2009 is the economy. And the economy is, by all measures, doing better and could be doing much better 3-4 months from now, and certainly maybe, at least the administration is hoping, certainly by November. So they have to do something, talk about something to gin up some kind of questions in the mind of voters before they go to the
And so, John, they scrape the bottom of the barrel?
Of course. Of course
right.
they do.
Thank you for that. Julian, is anyone thinking clearly about what it means to rally round and protect someone like Rush Limbaugh? I mean, is it really in Republicans' interests to be known as an apologist for such an odious, loathsome and tired sack of hatred?
Yeah, and I think until the Republican leadership expressly repudiates Rush Limbaugh, GOP has to stand for the grand old Philistines. Look, let's understand why the analogy to Bill Maher doesn't make any sense and just falls down. First of all, Bill Maher is not the spiritual leader of the Democratic Party as Rush Limbaugh is of the Republican Party. Secondly, many Democrats have said that when Bill Maher has used some of the offensive words, that he has crossed the line. Third of all, comparing what Bill Maher's riff is on Sarah Palin, which is basically that she is an empty suit when it comes to public policy, and that I think is true and factually based. Comparing that to a statement calling a woman a slut because she advocates for contraceptive coverage in the insurance policy is like comparing Bernie Madoff to a shoplifter. I mean, the analogy just breaks down on so many levels. And the fundamental point here is that the Republican leadership is still yet to repudiate what has to be the #1 most disgusting comment made in politics in 2012.
But guys, I gotta step up here for the women. It is not just about the comments, you guys. It is about this man saying, if I'm going to pay for your sex, I want you to videotape it and put it on the web. It is more than just, women feel this very deeply. It is more than just those 2 words. And
no,
I think
it was absolutely, Karen, it was dressing up everything about this woman's character in the most insulting manner.
Everybody agrees on that.
That's right. I just noticed everybody keeps saying, well, these are words.
There's no put me in it. Karen, I didn't say anything about it.
Absolutely, that's true. But Karen, this conspiracy theory, which is being proposed by several commentators, that Sandra Fluke was planned and planted by the White House. Are they going to say that the reason Rush Limbaugh had a massive pilonidal cyst on his backside some years ago was because he was infected by Democrats?
Oh, yeah. Here's the problem, Martin.
No, answer the question. Is that cyst caused by Democrats? Okay, thank you.
But here's the thing. We're not that smart. I wish we were. I would love to take credit. Here's the problem that Republicans are having. Women aren't that stupid. They were counting on women being really stupid, and you know what? We're not. And it's not just about, this has really brought up a whole host of issues that have been going on for women, on this war on women in the last year in particular. It is about the measures at the state legislature that are basically telling women, you're idiots and you're too stupid to make any decisions about about your own body. So guess what? The government has to tell you when you've been raped, has to make sure you're not so, frivolous with your sexuality that you're going to try to use rape as a loophole to get an abortion. I mean, just remember, this is layer upon layer upon layer. And then this kind of conversation coming from Rush Limbaugh. And also, I mean, Republicans know, to me, this says we're winning this argument. They're trying to change the subject on two things that are not at all parallel. And this is supposed to be the party of smaller government, yet they want to get all up in our uteruses? No, no, no. We're not that stupid.